And we're back with Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations. With a stunning revelation. But first, I'm Rob. And I'm here with George.
Yeah.
Iffy.
Yeah.
And Lawrence.
I'm fucking drinking!
Jesus Christ. With your honor's piercing intellect. I didn't even get to finish the line.
I'm ready to declare you guilty now.
With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
Armando. Sorry, I started to sing it for some shit reason. Whatever you do, don't tase him.
Don't tease me, bro. I mean, shit. Last time someone called me by that name, we went on about fucking mandrills for 6 years. That's the line. Fuck off.
To be fair, Godot's an interesting choice of moniker because it's actually the last syllable of both of his names.
What?
Godot. So, Go, Do, Diego, Armando.
Okay.
So then he picked Godot, which is in reference to, I believe the first time that name appears is in Waiting for Godot.
Just continue.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over my piercing intellect. Diego Armando. That name rings a bell.
When Judge mentions his piercing intellect, his forehead just gleams slightly.
The real reason Diego Armando died.
It should, Your Honor. All of this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself.
It was terrible.
I don't get it.
EFA's first time in court. The tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming bitch in disguise.
False. It's a false.
But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense lawyer at the office where Mia worked.
AKA Armadillo, clearly.
It's my fault! It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself!
Yeah, you fucking killed him.
Good job. You fucking wench.
Can't cry yet.
Not until I crashed this coffee mug. Now you may cry.
Don't bleed me, bro.
Don't bleed me.
The only time a lawyer can cry when it's all over.
That's Spanish, nice.
Crisp accent.
I was moved by her. The way she put all her faith in her clients. That pure sweetheart of hers.
The voice is changed.
Why? I could never forgive Dahlia Outford. And I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. Then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met in the courthouse cafeteria. I had a sandwich.
I just remembered.
You fucking died.
6 years ago, right? Here in this courthouse, you crushed a coffee mug.
The fuck, man? I paid good money for that.
And then you were poisoned.
Even I didn't see it coming. Who the fuck poisoned the sandwich? Come on.
Man. Apparently poisoned the coffee.
Oh. Yeah, Dahlia Thoughtborn slipped some poison in my sandwich.
That's a pretty shit coffee.
Dahlia Thoughtborn.
Can I, why
It's the fucking first time it's clicked.
Have enough people died from poison yet already?
Elder Scrolls 5. Ah, so you are Thoughtborn!
Dragon shot!
Jesus.
Some newspaper
Slipped
at the
poison
time
into
called
my
it a
sandwich.
moida.
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 Of the Seekies coined.
But very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all!
No official report ever actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep, I'm a deep coma.
I was trying to get 100% warframe.
My body shut down and my life became nothing but a long... Oh shit, deep sleep! Oh fuck! More coffee. I poisoned the real number on my central nervous system. Lost my sight and all of my hair turned white due to the damage caused.
That's terrible.
Terrible.
Apparently it was a miracle that I even gained consciousness.
What's interesting is
And then I got these cool ass shades.
imagine like you have this thing that's meant to like, you know, procedurally destroy someone from the inside out, a poison. And for some reason it just has the side effect of just removing the coloured pigment in your hair.
Oh no, hey, what's blinded him?
There's a thing of like trauma where if you suffer severe trauma, your hair falls out and then you lose some of the pigment, but it doesn't grow back properly. Which is part of the trope, but it's misrepresented.
Is it the same? Is it the same reason why you've got those other characters in like, what is it, like Sweeney Todd and that other one? I think it's an anime, Blackjack. Can't remember. Who just have like white parts in their hair.
One?
I assume so.
Yeah,
because it's really patchy.
There we go.
bro, don't rush me, man. We're having a conversation.
No, Rob. It's Russian roulette time.
Do they not know who the murderer is? A random link?
5 years have passed since I drank that poison brew. Yet I still get a boner for coffee. And when one of my eyes flew open for the smell of Doctor's cup of coffee.
Ah, so he awakened the same way the 10th Doctor did when he first regenerated.
I woke up because some was shirking on the job.
5 years.
I once fucked up their job.
You're asleep for 5 years? I slept for longer in the home.
That's pussy shit.
Tell me you got.
Good scrum.
Iffy.
And the worst puzzle news was waiting for me. Maya Fey.
Mia.
It's Mia.
Yeah. I say Maya.
It's Mia.
Maya's the other one.
From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered. And the woman I loved had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loathed?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Thoughtborn. Bitch.
Drink.
Ah, good old Mia. She didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, doesn't even matter. I think I'm not gonna go there. There wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
That's so sad.
Apparently Grossbook just didn't give a shit. He just didn't give a single shit.
Someone like me, for someone who had slept away their best days.
His hemorrhoids were doing the Harlem shit. Were too busy doing the Harlem Shake to check on Godot.
I'm sure.
I'll do the Harlem. There's only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
Ass and titties.
Yeah, that's sort of a shit. The first was you. Right.
Huh? Me? Are you hitting on me?
I want to see those ass cheeks clap, right?
You're the one who's getting clapped, Godot.
Daddy. Go ahead and drink that stupid poison. Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did.
I mean,
You were the only one who was there to protect her, bitch.
no shit.
Yeah, you let her die. All your fault.
It's still saying
I-
total bollocks.
It wasn't like that.
I wanted to see for myself what kind of a man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor.
There's a reason for living. She goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. Mia, Baba. 1 year ago, when the Crane Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan the Fey planning something.
Buy that cool game.
Whatever your plan was, I was determined to stop it. That God behind her helped me a lot by giving tabs on her. The role was a prosecutor put me in the perfect position to do something about her.
That's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that time was drawing near. As I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it.
I mean, you did.
So was help with the plan. I thought I could do it. If I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearls had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. Contracted both of my accomplices.
Accomplices.
Corvus Sly. Iris with the Hazakura Temple, and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall in my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But what? How did you contact my mother?
I have
She had
that
been
bitch
missing
on
for almost
speed
20
dial.
years.
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean officially?
You heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government.
Now that you mention it, Bikini did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Karain had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police had been keeping an eye on her moments all this time. That's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Nah.
Nah, I'll never forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always...
That's why I knew she would do everything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff.
Her staff. The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. You met for the first time at Hazakura Temple? That's when your mother showed me her special staff. Realized then just how far she was willing to go.
I'll fucking kill Pearls. Fucking do it.
Fucking kill her! Fucking do it! She was just your cousin.
She's like,
Jesus
I don't
Christ.
fucking care.
She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan the Fey. That's her.
Hmm.
Yes. You were meant to pay the ultimate price.
Mother...
Right, brother. That night, the night of the crime, There was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean pearls, don't you?
I had to make sure she didn't channel Dahlia Thoughtborn. I'm pretty sure this was Lawrence.
This is Lawrence, yes.
Well, Carl, what are you going to do tonight?
Well,
Fucking finally. If you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together.
I want to read Harry Potter.
I don't read trash.
Stromboli.
It's called Harry Potter and the audacity of that bit.
Such
Based on true story. You know, I play the part of the dead corpse.
Let me get this line. I just started with the better one. we thought we could prevent her from playing her part of Morgan's plan, but she never showed up.
She was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
That was the thing we were most afraid of. That's why Mystery had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Thoughtborn into her own body.
What? What do you mean?
If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself.
The massive crane, Misty's phase power was supreme nachos. Supreme. That's how it went down.
You don't think it's true?
Channel with Dahlia Thoughtborn so the Pearls wouldn't be able to.
But what?
Didn't she think this through? Did you not think, hey, maybe I should restrain myself before doing this shit?
What? Is this true?
My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Fey.
I had a gun.
That's why I hid myself at the inner temple.
It was Batman.
I'm Batman.
Oh, we found the Batman, guys.
It's not what I do that defines me. It's who I am when the divisor.
Jesus.
Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Thoughtborn.
It's the Batman Robin guy.
I am Batman, Robin Man guy, dude.
Godot.
What I do before.
Anyway, that's all I'm going to admit to. That's right.
Huh?
There's no doubt about it. You're a great defense lawyer. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself, bitch.
You just talked for 20 straight minutes and you want me to finish it up? What?
You
That's
lazy punk bitch.
Whack. The background leading up to this incident has been laid bare. There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim? There are only two possible suspects right now. Maya Fey? And I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godot.
Well, Trent, you're the real deal. And finish this thing once and for all. Bitch. Shows beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Dick, please don't.
I'ma do it. I'ma come in.
I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godot. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too.
Maya, I know that.
And that's
Nick.
why I'll do it myself.
But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify.
Miss Fey, your testimony, please.
The judge is like ready to.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips.
I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick.
Whack. Okay, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost your consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
I'm pretty sure this is the final testimony.
It is.
Yeah, because I know the contradicting statement, but you have to get it.
Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. I thought I'd ask for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead, though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness.
Hey guys, I wonder who those 3 red lights are.
Those red lights. I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I lied.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
I thought I saw them, but then they disappeared all of a sudden.
This is the 5th time you're going to the jail, bitch.
Oh shit. Things break, right? Even the best theories. Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? Looks like you still can't fucking prove it.
Maya is telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
Alright, let's do this.
Right. Let's get this done.
Let's get it done.
Wait, just before it happened, saw some red lights, 3 of them. I want to inquire
How
about
do we
this.
get that statement again? I don't remember.
Light shining in the dark, I don't think you could make a mistake about that.
Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. And I can't tell you for sure they were from Mr. Godot's mask either.
I don't get the feeling she's coming from anymore, but let's press harder. Try harder. But just after that, you turned towards the lights and called for help. Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask?
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember. After all, there was a person I couldn't identify in front of me.
Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly.
Alright then, let's go on with the testimony. What did you do when you saw the red lights?
So let's just read them all real quick, see which one it probably
I
could
thought
be.
I'd ask for help, but then I was splattered with blood.
Okay. What was...
That blood. Was it Dahlia Hawthorne's blood?
I think so, probably, just at that moment. I heard a soft scream that seemed to be close by. It was a woman's voice.
So that was when the killer stabbed the victim from behind with a murder weapon.
It was nothing personal, kid.
Is that correct?
Without a doubt, Maya was in the middle of a really dangerous situation.
Godot. Iffy.
Anyway, the victim was stabbed by the murderer. What happened after that?
She wasn't dead, though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Express. Struck back? How do you know that?
Well, you're right. I didn't see it exactly, but I could tell by the sounds of their breathing and movement.
Okay.
And also the smell of blood.
You have witnessed more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one lifetime.
She got kidnapped by a fucking, assassin. She's experienced more horror than any young lady should ever have to in one life.
I have no clue why you found that so horrifying. I was a perfectly hospital assassin.
Didn't feed her, you fuck.
I was a perfectly hospital assassin.
Hey, he only offered McDonald's and she didn't like McDonald's.
I was like, I can't afford anything else. I think I can afford to feed 5 mouths a year.
I'm on an assassin salary.
God.
So then, what did you do at that point?
I couldn't move. I could just barely make out their shadows moving in the dark, but I had no idea what to do.
Could you still see the red lights you mentioned earlier?
Yes, I think so. But
Alright, and then the lights went out. They went out?
yes, suddenly I couldn't see them at all.
What do you mean?
If the red lights were coming from Godot's mask, and they went out right in the middle of a fight,
Maybe the mask was damaged.
or maybe it was knocked off.
Batteries.
Iffy?
It's like Discord keeps ringing. Maybe the batteries ran out. Right.
I think those are batteries.
Maybe those little red pin-looking things just stopped working.
What could have really happened then?
Well, I think it's obvious.
Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. I feel like this is irrelevant.
Well, it could have been Godot's screen, because I think Godot was stabbed.
Oh, hold on.
Right in his base.
What do you mean by just at that moment? Do you mean the moment the red lights went out?
Yes, that's right.
The scream that you heard then, was it Dahlia Hawthorne?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it was a man's voice.
Look, Rob, was important.
What?
Rob, I don't think this is important.
I don't think this is important. It's very important.
Very important.
So then, that scream came from the killer.
That's gotta be it.
I think
You doing that damage, Your Honor?
Dahlia Hawthorne must have taken the blade and attacked the killer with it.
Then the killer let out a scream of pain,
After that, the killer stole the blade back and delivered the final blow, I guess.
It was a lie.
Well, Mr. Wrong, it seems to make
Oh,
sense to me.
Mr. Wrong.
It sounds like a
Mr.
reasonable
Wrong.
deduction, but I still kind of wonder.
There's a... Well...
I'm sorry to say this, but that interpretation would create an enormous contradiction.
That makes sense. After all, my deductions are almost certainly never correct.
Ah, Your Honor's piercing intellect.
At least he's honest.
Remember the testimony she just gave. Before the killer let out a scream, Maya said that she had already been splattered by the victim's blood. In other words, the blade and the staff had already been plunged into the victim.
Is that right?
She couldn't have struck back with a sword that was already stuck in her body. The weapon that caused the killer to let out a scream must have been something other than the staff.
Was it? It must have been that. I think it was that chisel.
You sure about that? Then don't bother waiting any longer, right?
There's only one thing I can think of. That could have been used as the weapon here.
George was used as the weapon.
Yeah.
Dahlia Thought-Born had already been stabbed in the back by the staff. What could she have used to strike back at the killer?
Yeah, I think it's that dagger. She's got the move like dagger.
I get his joke.
Naturally, the dagger the killer brought to the scene of the crime.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's right, I forgot about that. Conveniently.
This dagger was found at the crime scene stuck into a pine tree.
Well, fuck. Yes, the detective found that this morning and brought it to me.
Dahlia Hawthorne struck back at the killer with this, and she managed to wound him as well. We'll see you guys next time on Phoenix Wright, Trials and Tribulations.
Ooh, suspense.